try number 35 out of 12.5, which is a long, long problem because we have lots and lots of parts. So we're supposed to determine f plus g, f minus g, f times g, f divided by g, and f composed with g, and state the domains of all of those. For f of x is 6x squared minus x minus 15, and g of x is 3x minus 5. Blah. Okay. Most of these are pretty chill, I think.
Yep.
First, if I want to add f and g, what do I do with the rules for f and g to get the rule for f and g added? So I want to do f plus g to an x. Right? Yeah. So here's what f is. There's what g is. Add them together. So I got 6x squared minus x minus 15 plus, maybe with parentheses, plus 3x minus 5. This is just adding functions, right? Literally, you want to add these two objects. These two objects are these two objects, so add the bits.
So you just do that with all of them.
This isn't gonna, yeah. So this kind of approach is gonna work for the f plus g, f minus g, f times g, and f over g. F composed with g is gonna be a slightly different story. Okay. So if I do this, what do I get out of this?
6x squared plus 2x minus 20.
6x squared plus 2x minus 20
Yes.
via, explain to me your reasons.
You can't do anything with 6x squared, but 3x minus x is 2x. And then,
Okay, why didn't you need the parentheses?
I don't know. I mean, I added parentheses on when I did it on my paper.
Yeah, and then you dropped them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was it reasonable to drop them? It was.
Because you're combining them together.
Yeah, because you're combining like terms, and this grouping symbol, right, is saying that all this addition happens first, right? But then this thing's addition anyway, so all the addition can happen at the same time. Who cares? So do your combine like terms, get to here. This is the answer for f plus g.
Okay. You don't want us to do quadratic formula on that. Just you're done.
Definitely not, because
Okay.
you don't have equals 0, right?
But you could make it over there.
You could, but that's not what they asked you for, right?
Okay.
They didn't ask you and then solve for 0.
Got it.
We can also state the domain while we're at it here. What's the domain for 6x squared minus 2x minus 20?
All real,
Yeah. Why?
because it's a parabola.
Yeah. So there's our domain. It's all R. Okay. How about f minus g? So f minus g is going to be a similar approach, right? So what are you going to do for f minus g?
Six x squared minus x minus 15.
Okay, write the rule down for
in,
f.
In parentheses.
And then subtract the rule for g. And what's the only difficulty of this one?
Signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
Sign.
distribute a sign and then combine like terms. So I'm gonna get 6x squared still, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now how many x's have I got?
Minus 4.
Nice, minus 4x. And
10.
minus 10, perfect.
And then that's it, you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Me neither, trust me, I don't either.
What you're doing, right, is you're finding a new rule, right? You're combining two rules to make a new one. And the domain on this one is
Also
All
real
real
numbers.
Yeah.
also all R. You guys want to take a second and play with the others yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's pause and play. So we've been having revelations in the front row. So we want to calculate f times g of x. So what should we do with the rules for f and the rule for g? Yeah, we just multiply them, right? So we want to take the rule for f, our 6x squared minus x minus 15, and we want to multiply it by 3x minus 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Just
Just-
3x minus 5, is that what you're telling me?
You certainly could.
Just
I
take the one?
I personally would say leave it here because, right, it's usually easier to distribute than it is to factor, right? So if the next guy that comes along to use this thing, if they want it factored, it's pretty close, right?
Okay.
I'd have to factor this piece a little bit more, but otherwise it's pretty close. If I distribute first, and then the next person comes along and wants it factored,
That's a lot harder.
yeah, she's got a lot of work ahead of her, right? You guys see that?
we
So I would leave it here. You certainly could distribute, it's not wrong.
can- Okay.
If you do distribute, what would you get?
18x squared.
Minus 33x squared minus 40x.
Okay, sorry, I can't write that fast. 18x cubed I got.
Alright, minus 33x squared.
And then there's a minus 3x squared and a minus 30x squared.
Yeah.
So a minus 33x squared. And a minus, let's see, I got minus 45x plus 5x is minus 40x
Plus 75.
plus 75. So if that's what you got, check, awesome. I would still go with this first thing.
Okay. That's the top.
Okay. Be proud of yourself that you multiplied it out right though, because that is actually something. What did you get here for a domain?
Still all real numbers?
That's all real numbers.
Okay.
Right, because all you're doing is multiplying and raising x's to whole number powers.
Mhm.
You can do that. Another way to think is, if you multiplied all this jazz out, it'd be a cubic,
Yeah.
right? Cubics are little whoop-dees. They don't have any problems with the vertical line test, right? How about f divided by g?
6x squared minus 5 times 15 divided by
Good.
3x minus 5.
Yeah, there's not a lot of newness here, right? We're just
No.
doing different operations between these two things.
So
And then,
would we keep it like that, or would we factor out the top?
so I would say factor out the top.
Okay.
So if you factor the top, you get that it's 3x minus 5 times
2x plus 3.
2x plus 3.
All over 3x plus
And then this is all over 3x minus 5, and then what?
Cancel.
Cancel out 3x plus 5.
Cancel the onesies.
Okay, so I see a onesie, so I can cancel it. So I can say this is 2x plus 3.
Yes.
All of them.
Plus or
Remember these little asterisk things that you have to add when you do onesies and functions? Maybe not.
You mean because x could be positive or negative?
No, not because x could be positive or negative, but because this thing here, right, is 1 unless, yeah, unless this piece is 0 and that piece is 0, right? And then it's undefined.
Okay.
So this really comes in the domain part of this, right? So the domain here is R except
When x equals 0.
not x is 0, but
If a 2x plus 3.
Right.
5/3.
Or 3x minus 5.
yeah, when 3x minus 5 is 0, so that's 5/3. So that one gets a slightly different domain, and it's because that onesie was there.
Okay.
You guys see that?
Yeah.
So my final answer for this one is, this piece is this thing, and it has a domain of not quite all of R. You guys follow? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. How about F composed with G? This is fundamentally the hard one.
So would we have to draw the bubbles first and take apart the function for which step goes first, or would we not?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. So we could draw the bubbles.
Or would we-
So the bubbles, F composed with G, which one goes first?
would that be x squared so you can multiply by 6, or is it,
Oh,
there's
yeah, so don't take these two apart. Taking these two apart will be a little bit much.
right, let's do it.
But I want to feed either G to F or F to G, right?
So where there's an
Right, so you don't have
x.
to take them apart, you just place one inside the other?
Yeah, I just want to put the rule for one inside the other. And I just need to know which one's on the inside. So which one do you do first when you're doing f composed with g?
F with boxes.
Yeah, you do g first, and then feed the result to f, right?
Mm-hmm.
So f's going to be the rule on the outside. So you write f down with boxes. So f is
6x squared minus x.
6 times
6
whatever
box
squared minus
Box
whatever
minus 15.
minus 15, right? And then what am I trying to take f of?
That's pretty good.
3x minus 5.
That 3x minus 5 thing, right? So I want to put that in here. And then I need to remember that there's parentheses around it. Cool. And this is where things are going to get wild because I've got to do a bunch of foiling and stuff, right? So, should we try that? Do you guys want to take a second and try to foil? Remember how to foil, maybe? All right, take a second to remember. So let's finish off f composed with g. What did you get when you foiled?
6 parentheses 9x squared negative 30x plus 25 parentheses.
Cool. And then the next one you need to,
Distribute the 6. Or, no, the next
Minus
one.
3.
sorry, it's
Distribute
just
the
this piece,
negative
distribute a
sign.
minus, and then here we'll have to distribute a 6. So I got minus 3x plus 5 minus 15.
Can
Okay.
you take out the, can you subtract that from that to begin with?
I subtract that
So
from that to begin with.
Can you subtract the 3x minus 5 from the other 3x minus 5 so that you only have 6 times, okay.
No, because I need, right, the exponent comes first before the
Okay.
subtraction. All right, so then I need to distribute a 6. So you'll get 54x squared
Minus 183 x.
minus 183. 180 from here and 3 from there. Cool. X
Plus 140.
plus
150.
150 minus 10. 140. Nice. Okay. So I got to here, right?
You're done.
And I'm done? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. And the domain on this thing?
All real numbers because it's a parabola.
So this is f composed with g, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this. And the domain is all of r?
Yep.
Because it's a parabola? Yeah, I'm done with that. Cool. Questions? Thanks.